Chapter 4. The wind brought the scent of herbs and dry meat. Regis stopped. There are other people around. Detlaff confirmed silently. They had been walking along the Uruga for 3 days. Their human companions, still wary of the duo, mostly avoided them and said little. The vampires kept a few paces behind. You found us some interesting company, said Detlaff. The priestess said they were soldiers, yet they reek of fear and deception. They're deserters. And how do you know? I suppose, the wounded man, the insignia has been removed from his jacket. So we attempt to blend among humans by joining a gang of ragged escapees? Perfect. It's easy for you to pass judgments. Forgive the cliché, but living among humans teaches one that nothing is simple. We don't know who they are or why they are fleeing, and from whom. We know nothing about them. They stopped at Ossian's call. He was waving to them, pointing to a nearby farm, a small compound at the edge of the forest. A shabby wagon stood by the fence, and horses were neighing from the stables. The smoking chimney and its promise of warm hearth called to them. The vampires watched as their new companions consulted, then left the road and headed for the buildings. Right, we know nothing about them, said Detlaff, but I feel that this is about to change. The farmer returned with the cask. He sat it on the table and started filling clay cups. The smell of beer wafted through the room. Forgive me, but I don't understand, he said. Erskine gulped, wiped the foam off his mustache. He tapped the lily patch on the table with his fingers. Well, right, I've already explained. We are the Temerian army, and we've been given a covert mission to carry this captive ransom from Nilfgaardians. We must get him across the inner as soon as possible. That's why we need your carriage. And both horses, Ossian said. Neris was standing by the door, her back propped against the wall. In her hands, she was holding a bare sword, which she was picking between the floorboards. And the contents of the pantry, she added. It's not right. How can we survive without a carriage? In winter, here in such remote parts. We? Ossian asked. Who else? The farmer glanced towards the door. Ossian spat, pulled out a dagger and put it on the table. The furnace fires flickered over the flat of the blade. Good people have mercy. We're not good people. It would be such a pity for you to find out exactly why that is. Ossian, Neris said. Shut up. His choice. Detlaff, who had been standing in the shadows so far, approached and tossed a pouch on the table. Coins rang. Do what you want, he said. I'm going for a walk. As the door slammed, Regis scooped at the purse and moved closer to the farmer. My comrades are soldiers, not thieves, he said, looking Ossian in the eye. They only need one mare, which they will harness to a sleigh, the mare for which you will receive adequate compensation. Erskine opened his mouth, scrambling to find some words. The vampire smiled through pursed lips. Temerian soldiers understand they must not deprive you of your belongings, he said. If they did, the news of their covert mission could reach the wrong ears, and that, well, that would put them in grave danger. Ain felt the branches under her boot. She scattered the snow, picked up the brushwood, and threw it in her basket. She'd collected enough, so she decided to go home. She walked briskly, humming her favourite song under her breath. Stopping at the edge of the forest, she dropped the basket and backed away sharply. She waited behind a tree for a long moment, then slowly peeked out from the trunk. There were strangers at the hut. A woman was pulling Ludka by the reins. The mare huffed and kicked relentlessly. 2 men emerged from the pantry, lugging sacks and casks. The fourth, the older one, was talking to her father at the cabin. Ain then sensed someone else. Someone much closer. You'd better wait here, said a low voice from behind her. It was low, mesmerizing. But my father. The stranger put a hand on her shoulder, cold and pale. Bloodstains on the palm. He'll be fine. They will be gone soon. Look. Take a good look. This world of yours where nothing is simple. I do not understand. Never mind. The girl was silent. She watched the grey-haired man take something from his purse and put it in her father's hand. Gold flashed. They will only take Ludka? She asked after a moment. Yes. My friend has the gift of persuasion. That's good. Good. You were lucky. They wanted to rob you. Ain turned and looked the stranger in his eyes. But someone was watching over us.